We remember the clothes, the catchphrases, and the very of-the-moment soundtrack. But the legacy of Clueless is way bigger than its influence on fashion and mid-90s lingo. 20 years later, it stands as the quintessential teen movie adaptation of the lit classic, the film that many others have tried to replicate, but few have managed to match. For those somehow not in the know, Amy Heckerling's whimsical tale is an adaptation of Jane Austen's Emma. Valley girl Cher Horowitz stands in for the novelist's eponymous protagonist as a rich, spoiled, yet charming high schooler with a passion for matchmaking and an utter lack of self-awareness. Obviously, that potent combination of character traits gets Cher into trouble.
Boy, they came out of nowhere.
And as she navigates the tricky social rungs of high school, her misadventures loosely mirror Emma's. Yet Clueless doesn't feel bound to its inspiration either. Heckerling's colorfully written and executed characters stand out fully on their own, and the movie effortlessly incorporates some of the familiar tropes of the teen movies that came before it. Take the way the 19th century English hierarchy is transplanted to 90s Beverly Hills. Cher and Dion are obsessed with maintaining a sophisticated social status, not unlike Emma.
I don't know why Dion's going out with a high school boy. They're like dogs.
But those preoccupations are more appropriate for modern-day teenage girls. Designer clothes, the hottest new cars that you can't even legally drive yet, losing or hanging on to your virginity.
I am just not interested in doing it until I find the right person. You see how picky I am about my shoes, and they only go on my feet.
Clueless punctuates these class markers with light, playful jabs at the young, wealthy, and self-absorbed. And as with the many teen movies that came before it, the hierarchy is further broken down into high school social cliques.
That is Alana's group over there. They do the TV station. And that's the Persian Mafia. You can't hang with them unless you own a BMW. And there's Elton in the white vest and all the most popular boys in the school.
Yet it never feels biting or cynical. Cher's cluelessness about certain things in life, like the preferred romantic partners of Christian, Cher's big-time crush, can sometimes stem as much from her youth as from her existence in an isolated bubble of wealth.
Isn't my house classic? The columns date all the way back to 1972.
Clueless wasn't the first teen movie to take its inspiration from classic lit. That honor probably goes to 1985's Just One of the Guys. But it clearly set the template for the mini-genre that followed. Some were more successful than others at capturing Clueless's buoyancy and originality while adapting her respective works.
I'm trying to make the school a better place.
Can we just start a petition to get rid of all the lead paint?
2 honey mustard chicken, a Quiznos.
Not now, Quiznos.
You're a slut.
But many others tried too hard to be clever and were hampered by clumsy dialogue, or they fumbled and fell short in attempting to tackle delicate social issues.
Sitting around talking about the nigga that lost it back in high school. You tell him I love that girl.
And even when they were so bad, they were still deliciously fun. One can hardly call them good. Clueless, on the other hand, is a light, fun romp that never takes itself too seriously. There's no winking at the audience. With the exception of Broy Elton, none of the characters have names pulled from Emma.
Dion and I were both named after great singers of the past who now do infomercials.
And it avoids the common cliche of having any of its characters actually reading Austen's novel.
I know Shakespeare's a dead white guy, but he knows his shit. I want you all to write your own version of this sonnet.
Basically, you could be familiar with Emma and still watch Clueless without ever making the connection. Heckerling's script and characters are that good. And that's what makes Clueless hold up so well, even 20 years later. To watch and enjoy it is to do so utterly without guilt. It's the rare teen movie that is laudable, not just as a teen movie or adaptation, but as a movie, period.
Hello? Was I the only one listening? I mean, I thought it reeked.
I believe that was your designer imposter perfume.